This conference will now be recorded.
All right, 5:39 p.m. on October 19th. We will call the community meeting for the EPA Brownfields cleanup grant to order. On the line we have, let's start with Greg Riley, Town of Stratford grants writer, Eileen Marsh, secretary, Harley Langford, LEP of record for contract plating, Maria from Yukon, and two of her students who aided in the grant writing process, Glenn Brown and Katie Laresh. Did I say that right, Katie? Close enough? All right. So just to, there's no other members of the public on this call right now, so I'm just going to quickly go over some of the site location, ownership history, and some of the highlights of the grant, just for the public record, in case anyone would like to review this later on. So contract plating is located at 540 Longbrick Avenue. It's straddled between a residential neighborhood and a rather commercialized area in Home Depot, Walmart, then across Barnum Avenue of McDonald's. It was originally developed in 1918 by the Bridgeport Motor Company, and following their ownership in 1936, the Contract Plating Company bought the property and occupied it for many years through 1995 when they declared bankruptcy, I believe. The site kind of languished in purgatory thereafter and became overgrown, and it was acquired by the town through tax foreclosure in March of 2013. And shortly thereafter, my predecessors, twofold, started looking at assessing the property through a phase one, and then iterative phases of investigation thereafter, mostly through federal and state grants, through Department of Economic and Community Development, as well as I believe some of it was maybe done through some assessment funds through EPA. But most recently, there was a $2.85 million grant from DECD that was used to knock down two of the buildings, remove a bunch of excess waste material from the property, and perform some actual soil remediation in the vicinity of the main plating building until we ran out of money. And now we're applying for a $500,000 cleanup grant through EPA with a 20% community match, I guess you could call it, our cost share. The $500,000 we're slating for some remaining waste stockpiles that are left on site that are secure, and we do check on them regularly. And that'll be about $200,000 or so of the grant right off the bat. Then we will be heading over towards the anodizing building slab to remove that slab, dispose of it properly, and then remove some of the surrounding soils that are also contaminated. And then as a portion of the cost share, the town has a stockpile of asphalt millings from various paving projects throughout the years, and we will be beneficially reusing them as a top dressing and pavement sub-base for a small parking area that will go over one of the lagoons. So it'll act as a new feature for the site. It'll be parking for a future development, perhaps. But also will aid in capping some of that metal hydroxide sludge in those lagoons. The deadline for this grant application is October 28th, but we do intend on submitting a little bit early, hopefully by the 27th, just to anticipate any technological glitches as they may arise. And I'll open the floor to questions if anyone has any. My dog.
Why can't the dog ever be part of our meetings? That would make them much more interesting.
I agree. He's our really old dog. He's like pushing 14, so he can't get up very well. So that's why he's barking, because he either wants food, water, or he wants help getting up. So, but that has nothing to do with the cleanup grant. All right, so with that, if there's no further discussion, I did brush through that very quickly. So if anyone is reviewing this after the meeting, feel free to contact me. I'm at Public Works, 203-385-4080, or kkerrigan@townofstratford.com is my email. You can also access some information at townofstratford.com/brownfields. If there's nothing else. All right, with that, I think that we are all set.
Mission accomplished.